Make a chicken cacciatore with some red bell pepper, some organic mushrooms, garlic, onions, typical tomato sauce. If you can hear me, say hello. I'm going to try something right now. Hello, this is Michael Savage saying hello again. It's Friday night. I feel like cooking. I don't feel like going to a restaurant. So I've been preparing, and I've been preparing and preparing. So I prepared my. Can you see me? I want to see your comments. There you go. You got to say, you know me. You know me by now. How's the sound? Good? I got the microphone on tonight. Where did it go? Here it is. I got the little mic for Mike. Oh, shit. Sorry. My little microphone clip just fell off. God darn it. So I may have to go switch out the microphone. Just give me a second here. You know, I do these things alone for my own fun, right? You know that. And everything goes wrong. The clip just fell off the microphone. So if I can't get the clip back on the microphone, I'm going to take the microphone off and we're going to go naked, no receiver. Okay, I just took it off. Tell me how the sound is. Can you hear me? Is the sound still good? Say yes, I can hear you. We love you. I know you love me, but I mean, can you hear me? I don't want to it's like shooting blanks if I do a whole cooking thing and then you didn't hear me. I say, what the hell did I do it for? Yes, good. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to make chicken cacciatore, as you could see. I mean, I marinated this stuff hours ago and put it in the fridge. Where is it? Here we are. I'll get it on the stand in a minute. But it's a very interesting marinade that I made. Pain in the ass. Okay. I said don't do it tonight. The reason I wasn't going to do a cooking show, people said do a cooking show for months now. Actually, since Trump won, I haven't done a cooking show. Because they lost, we won. I don't have to, get angry at these leftists anymore. They're irrelevant. All they're doing is, spray painting people and throwing old women in front of trains and spray painting Teslas. And it is domestic terrorism. And when they get caught, they should face a huge number of years in a hard jail cell. I don't like domestic terrorism. I don't care which side it's on, but they're the only ones who engage in it, as you well know. So let me get the oil going. That's a big deal. I like gas, as you know. We're going to watch the level. The thing I like about gas the most is that I can watch the level. So I'm making chicken cacciatore with mushrooms, tomato, onion, bell pepper. And it's not that complicated. What is chicken cacciatore? There's a lot of references to it. It means hunter's chicken or whatever. They don't know if that really comes from that. But every hunter had a recipe when he got home. It could have been, whatever the game was. They call it game. To me, it's a poor animal running for its life. So I went to the store and I bought some stuff. I didn't have to hunt for it. And so there's been marinating for quite a while, different ways. The oil gets hot. I'm going to put her in there, put her right into the thing, 4 minutes each side, and brown it, and then put it on the side. Okay, so I don't have to go through that whole mishigas with the putting it on the side thing. I can just leave it in the goddamn pot. I don't know why there's so many complications to cooking that are unnecessary. Brown it and put this in, and put that in, and take it out and put it in. I'm looking for my tongs. They're in here. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I'm going to brown the chicken. I don't know why I have to brown it and take it out, but okay. Got it going in there. Beautiful panko crust. I use it sometimes I like panko. It gives it a crispier flavor. Leave all of that crap there. I don't need it. Turn the heat up a bit. Just browning it, supposedly. Now, my marinade is typical. I used a lot of lemon juice from my own tree. I have a lemon tree, and so there's not much of it left. Let's see. The skin isn't looking good, but I use lemon and very little salt. I told you I'm on a low salt diet. Now I'll get the crackpots telling me they know more about it than I do. You can do what you want. Get back to me when you're 50, 60, 70, and 80. Then give me a lecture on salt. Sodium is sodium is sodium. It doesn't matter whether it's Himalayan pink salt or salt from the mudflats of San Francisco. Sodium is sodium is sodium. Some is less polluted than others, but it's still sodium, and sodium affects blood pressure. Straight out, known worldwide, not going to waste my time. You want to do scientific research, look it up. Sodium, sodium, sodium. Okay. So now it's starting to do the right thing. I'm going to turn it now. Then I'm going to have to put this thing on a stand. Okay. Just a couple of minutes each side. Now the recipe calls for removing it after you brown it. I honestly don't know why. To me, you're making basically a chicken stew with tomato sauce is what it comes down to. Dredgy chicken in a Dutch oven, heat of oil, working in batches, chicken cook and turn brown. About 4 minutes each side. Transfer chicken to a platter as it finishes cooking and set aside. I honestly don't know why. I have no idea why to do that. Okay. To me, I'd leave it in there. What I need another mess up another dish for? I never saw my mother move stuff out of a Dutch oven like this and put it aside. What's that, a Julia Child thing? So I'm going to brown it a little. I can now go on with the recipe while it's browning. What the hell do I need to put it on a side for? I'm going to skip that. It says 4 minutes each side. I'm reading a recipe. Okay, fine. I'm not denying. I read recipes. I love them. I modify all of them to my own needs. I also put some in my marinade. As you can see, there's a red in there. That is vinegar. I put a little of traditional balsamic vinegar. It changes the flavor slightly with the spices I have. You know, I haven't gone to my garden just now. I have to go right now. I forgot to pick my oregano and Italian parsley. That's the stuff I like the best, is my own parsley and oregano from my own garden. I'll go out there with you in a second. I'm not going to do politics. There's nothing to say. We won, they lost. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I want to talk about politics. There's nothing to say. I'm just going to cook. Are you there? Dutch oven is a blah, blah, blah. When I was 18 and older, friend got me to stop using salt. You'll never be right. You're right, of course. I've written books about it. But the research is out there. All right, so we did 4 minutes. I'm supposed to reserve this on the side, the whole thing, and then put it back in and mess up another thing and then this. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it cooking like this. The next thing is add the mushrooms to pan and cook. Scraping up brown bits, that's a big thing. You scrape up the bits. They all came up with that. With a wooden spoon, blah, until browned all over, 8 minutes. Add onion and garlic, cook, blah, blah, blah. 6 minutes. Again, why do I have to do that? Why can't I just add my mushrooms in right now? Because that's what I'm going to do. Bingo. They've been washed. The stems pulled off them. They've been put into quarters. And they're going to cook into the stew. It's a chicken cacciatore. It's a hunter stew. I'm going to let it cook together. It looks good already to me. Okay. So we're cooking them with the mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Blood thinner. Throw away your Eliquis. Just take vitamin E, fish oils, and mushrooms. Okay, I'm not going to scrape up brown bits. I'm leaving them in there. Add wine and bring to a simmer. Add tomatoes and reserve juices. Blah, blah, blah. Along with herbs, sprigs, and bay leaf. So faggy. God. Sprigs. So I'm going to let that cook. You know what I miss is a meal in New York tonight. I'd like to go to Germantown. I don't know if they're still there on 86th Street. I don't eat a lot of meat. You know, maybe once a month I'll indulge in meat because I'm a post-cardiac survivor. It's been 5 years now. I hope I have another 5 years. I first of all, I didn't eat a lot of meat for 40 years anyway. Then I went into radio. I changed my diet. I had to eat a lot of stuff I wasn't eating, like bad Chinese food to get the energy. But since I survived that attack, you think it's a joke. It's no joke. A lot of cardiac survivors don't talk about the PTSD that they experience after they survive a heart attack. They fear sleeping. They fear the dark. They fear they're not going to wake up if they go to sleep. No one talks about it. Particularly men will not talk about the PTSD of a heart attack. And that's a big missing link in medicine and in therapy. Heart attack is the leading cause of death, as you know, and people don't talk about the trauma they suffer if they survive it for years afterwards. But I'm proud to tell you, it's been 5 years and it's not been easy. Nobody knows that when I had a heart attack in 2019, I went back on the radio a day later. And the company that I worked for was such a bunch of bastards. They knew. I told one of them I had had a heart attack. And they struggled with me for 6 months to throw me off the air after I had a heart attack. They're such scumbags. They're such scumbags, these corporate bastards. May they rot in hell. But I have a will. I wouldn't let them defeat me. It was an age discrimination lawsuit as well, but I wouldn't pursue it. I said, fuck them, I'll just stay on the radio. They could drop dead. I stayed on the radio. No one even knew I said I had the flu to them. So here it is. Let it all hang out, man. So, okay, so I put in the mushrooms. What's the next step here? Blah, blah, blah. Mushrooms cooked, scraping up brown bits. What are you talking about? Add what now? Add wine. Oh, add onion and garlic is my favorite part. Okay, here's my beautiful. All organic. Get all organic produce. I have for years. I don't like malic hydrazide on my onions. I should put it on the stand, right, so I can talk with you while I'm cooking? You want me to put it on the stand? It'll be a better video for you. You could see my hat. You could see my beautiful face. Hold on a minute. Gave you the chimpanzee face. Hold on. Let me just put this in there. It's not going to be the way it should be, horizontal, because this is really effed up, man. I got to see how this works. Clip it in. There we go. Let me see how it looks. Can you see it nicely? There. What's going on here? Okay. You're right that about Savage and the PTSD. Of course I'm right about it. No one talks about it. I got to change the orientation and put it onto the pan, not onto me. So I'm going to switch it now. Okay. Just going to go down a bit. There we go. So now you could see the cooking, right? You like it? You can see the cooking pots. That's all you need to see now. Lower this a little bit. I could turn it, but there's a button I have to press to make the orientation go wide, and it's not working on this phone for some reason. Okay? So it's going to have to be the wrong orientation for you. So all you're going to do is see this angle. I know you'd rather see this angle, but it isn't going to work. It's that simple. It just doesn't work. There's some friggin' button here that isn't working. Okay, so I'm going to turn it back. I think I knocked the whole thing off altogether. Boom. Crop and I think I screwed the whole goddamn thing up. I may have to stop this and start it again. What do you mean done? It's not done. Okay. I think I made a mistake. Are we still communicating on this damn phone? Okay. Rotate device back. Okay. There, rotated the device back. It's a screwed up video. I may have to end it. I really shouldn't have done this tonight. I wasn't in the mood to begin with. Rotate device back. What the hell are you talking about? There, rotated the device back. Are we okay now? It was fine vertical. Oh, let's make it vertical and stop the bullshit already with the vertical and the horizontal. Let's do it this way. Let me just change it to this. We got it vertical. Do that, and boom. Okay, is that good enough? We're going to lower this so it's more on the stove than on any. This is the last thing I'm going to do here. Otherwise, I'm going to stop it because I'm having a lot of trouble tonight. I knew I shouldn't have done this. I just wanted to What is this? Are we there? You're coming in and out. Yeah, I know that. I'm telling you, I'm having a lot of trouble with this effing iPhone. They want it to go bad so that I don't have to, so I have to go buy another one from one of the snotty kids who work in the iPhone store, the Apple store. They think they're geniuses. They make $12 an hour. You go in as an older person to ask them one little thing, they sneer at you like they're geniuses because they know how to work an iPhone. Okay, oh God. Why is it not showing the cooking now? What's wrong with this now? Something's wrong on the bottom. Guys, I don't think this is going to work. This has been a pain in the ass. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened here. Honest to God. Something's wrong. I'll try one more thing with it. Pardon me. Okay, it should be the other way on my food. That's what I want you to see. Okay, I'll go back. I'll hold it by hand, and I'm going to hang up. I know you want me to drink and talk. I will. So I'm going to turn my chicken once again. I put the garlic and onions in. Good, it's browning without moving it out of the pan. I didn't have to remove it from the pan and mess up another dish. Okay? So the next step, according to this recipe, I did the mushrooms, the onion, garlic, stirring, blah, blah, blah. Add wine and bring to a simmer. Add tomatoes and thing. I don't know about the wine. I don't want to waste the wine. I can turn it up a bit and put in some beautiful, I'm drinking some white wine now. I love it. Drinking this white wine I found, you can't even find it. I went and bought all the 6 bottles they had. I went to the biggest wine stores, no one had it. I'm not going to cause a run on it, I won't even tell you. It's from a region of France, right below the Basque Country, with some grapes I never heard of. There's 3 different grape varieties, some ancient grapes. 60% Gros Manseng, never heard of it. 25% Petit Corbu, 15% Arufiac. And the thing is, I drink Sauvignon Blancs. I like dry white wines, obviously. That's all anyone drinks. No one drinks sweet white wines. And this stuff has a flavor for a dry white wine. Oh, I can practically taste it now. Okay, see, I measured it. See how carefully I measured it? I just poured in as much as I felt like pouring in there. Basically, I'm reducing it right now by pouring in the white wine. Bring to a simmer, add tomatoes and reserve juices along with herbs, sprigs, and bay leaf. Okay. Well, I'm going to let that cook. Now I'm going to add the big deal here. You're supposed to drain it. I'm going to use the juice. I'm not draining it. I'm going to not drain it because I don't need to. I love tomatoes and everything. Muir Glen organic whole peel tomatoes. I love this. I haven't used this in a long time. I don't have the patience. So I put them in there. I don't have to crush them before putting them in, right? I'll crush them while they're in there and let them cook. I'll crush them as I'm cooking. The only thing I haven't added is my garlic. I love tomatoes and everything. You know what's in tomatoes, right? Now, it got cold because I've obviously put all this cold stuff in there. Turn the heat up a bit to make it start boiling a little, then lower it. Does anyone know what's in tomatoes? Boys and girls, you know by now? Why even ketchup is good for you? Thank you, lycopene. But you know what you're getting tonight? You're getting mycopene. That's me, I'm Michael. So you're getting mycopene with your lycopene. It's not expensive wine, schmuck. It's about $15 a bottle, putz. The jealous assholes that you get on the internet is so amazing. You put a nice wine in, it's a $15 bottle. You're showing off wine. I could show off wine, you schmuck, but I'm not doing it, you asshole. So you triggered me because I get angry at people. You know one thing I hate in the world more than anything? Is stupid. Stupidity bothers me more than anything on earth. Insults I can take, stupidity I hate. Now comment on the old car in the garage that I'm showing off a $15,000 Rover from 2006. That's also your business. That's the problem. When you go on the internet, you open yourself up to the biggest schmucks on the planet. So here we are. Here's the nicest part. The sun came out, thank God. It's been cold and miserable out here. What is it now? All right, not bad. Feels good. So I'm very happy with this. I planted 1, 2, 3, 4 oregano. The Italian parsley grows like crazy here, like a weed. And then I have some of this stuff. This is so good. Oh my God, is this so beautiful? I planted this last year. It's turned a little, it's almost twiggy. Probably went past its prime already. It looks like it's dying a little, but it still has delicious, fabulous flavor. Delicious. So I'll take a few of these, and I don't like just ripping them out. I'm very into plants. I talk to them. I thank them for growing. The Native Americans, when they collected a medicinal plant, they would they would talk to the plant, thank it for its energy and its healing powers. Got to learn from people who've been here longer than us, like 20,000 years. But even in Europe, they did that, the healers. So, isn't that beautiful? So you're getting mycopene with your lycopene. You see, this is like people stick their head out, they get their neck cut off, right? That's the problem. Now, the oregano, here's something funny. I planted it 3 months ago, came in a box. They're growing beautifully, but it's early in the spring. And frankly, the flavor isn't in them yet. They're not strong enough. Now, I could put them in with the stem and then just take them out at the end of the cooking process. You know, just beautiful stuff, isn't it? Better than the stuff in a container in the market. I mean, look, that's all you can get. You use it. Most of it's garbage from Mexico and poison filled with chemicals and crap. I like the taste of the parsley a lot. I planted this Italian parsley years ago. Okay, I'm not going to overdo it. Does anyone know what this spice is? The one I said is look past its prime. Who could guess, boys and girls? Like a classroom. What is this plant? This twiggy plant. What is it? Thank you. It is time. It's time to put in the time to go with the mycopene and the hycopene. Close my door. You know, cooking is one of the most relaxing things a man can do. It doesn't take great skill, it takes great patience, not skill. Okay, so we got all the herbs and spices here. Oh my God, looks great. See, now I reached the point that I like where I don't have to be that fussy about how I move things around in the pot. So I take it off so it starts to, some of the liquid, the moisture goes out. And rather than peeling, I'm just going to put the herbs in like that and then take the twigs out later. Just let it cook in with the stems. It doesn't matter to me right now. Look, first of all, I like the look. Secondly, I can always pull the stems out later. They may be a little bitter. That's true. I understand that. Now, when my potatoes are almost done, they're going to go right into this dish. I'm not going to separate them. Organic red potatoes. Oh, look, he's showing off the organic potatoes. No, I don't like poison in my potatoes. If you do, go eat it. Eat poisoned potatoes. See if I care. So let me put it on the stand again. If I have trouble, then that'll be it for the night. Okay. I don't know why it's so much trouble. This stand caused more the trouble than anything. Every time I put it on here, there we go again. Are you wanting to stop? No. Okay. Are we still broadcasting? I believe so. Yes. Can you hear me now? Guys, can you see the food? Because I'm going to go into the camera now. Say yes. I'm working alone. There's no cameraman here. Still good. Okay. So there we are. The one thing I have not yet done is put the garlic in. Now, this is interesting. Everybody wants to use garlic, and they do. And we all get the good garlic. I get organically grown garlic. It's very expensive, but I told you the garlic and onion pick up a lot of chemicals, really bad chemicals. So I tend to spend that extra money. But I'm not in the mood now to peel organic garlic. What I'm going to do is take the packaged garlic, which is again organically grown, and I've told you this before, in order to get the most beneficial aspects out of your garlic, you need to crush them to release the sulfhydryl groups. So I use this beautiful hammer. When the Democrats were in power, I was imagining I was mashing them. But they're not in power. They're disempowered. They've been disempowered and disemboweled. Thank God they're not. You know, they're still around. I mean, the vermin like Schumer. God, he looks like a stereotype out of an anti-Semitic play. You know, the older Schumer, and I'm Jewish, but the older that man gets, the more he looks like a stereotype of the evil Jew. I don't understand it. The man is actually play acting the role with that face. I don't understand it, Schumer. Get off the stage already. I get crushed. Big deal. Okay, I released the sulfonyl groups. They're supposed to sit for a few minutes before you cook them after you crush the sulfonyl groups out of them. I don't have the patience to sit with a timer. I'm making a hunter stew, which is a peasant hunter stew at the end of the day. And it'll have to be whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So now, disperse it a little. Oh, it's starting to look good, my God. Now when my potatoes are done, they're almost done, they're going right in here. Wow. I almost went to the city to dinner to meet a friend tonight. And I said, who the hell wants to go bother now? All the amateurs are out tonight. Like they say, who needs it? So how am I going to cut my pepper? I can hardly wait to eat the pepper, let alone cut the pepper. I love organic bell red pepper. I always have. I like to cook them in long strips, sort of like that. It reminds me of New York, Little Italy sausage and pepper. I don't eat sausage anymore, but I eat a lot of the pepper. Nothing more delicious than food that poisons you. I watch cooking shows on Saturday on PBS. I've never seen such unhealthy people in my life. They're young, they look old, and poisoned. Butter, milk, dairy, cream, salt, sugar. I never saw anything like it. And then the next minute it's an ad for a chemical to treat you from the drug company. All right, no connection. Anyone can make food taste good if you put sugar, butter, salt, pepper, all of that in it. But you're not really cooking. You're flavoring bad food with that stuff. Why do you think spices were used originally? They were used to mask contaminated food by and large. They weren't really used for flavor. In ancient times, old times, they had no refrigeration. They had a lot of bad food. Food would go bad, so they put spices to cover the flavor and to kill bacteria and other microorganisms. That's most of the spices were used for that. Not so much for flavor. They were used to cover and to kill bacteria, microbes. So I really don't need all of that dreck in the food. So now what am I going to do with this? Put it in there. Just take the stem off. Bingo. Throw this poor stuff out. There we go. What's next? One of my favorite of all vegetables. The recipe doesn't call for it. Cook like what you like. I love cilantro. Love it. I could eat bunches of it. When should it go in? I have no idea. Why is there a time for everything in cooking? Because they made it up. No specific time when to put it in. Put it in now. Put it in later. What's the difference? Someone's going to arrest you? You could put it in later if you want. Put it in now if you want. We're not going to send the cilantro police to your house. Let me see how my potatoes are, because they are the secondary queen of the night. I'm a potato lover. Look at this. Oh, they're done. Look at that. You see how nice that looks? Just a simple potato makes me happy. I'm a simple guy. Now, I'm going to put them in the stew and let them cook out. They're cooked in the stew. I'm going to use some of the starchy water in there as well. There we go. It's cooking at the right temperature. So my potatoes, I'm going to quarter them and put them in. I'll let them cook out in there. I actually want to eat a few of them while I'm cooking and have a glass of wine with you. how did the Irish become so strong on the potato? Where did the potato come from? It came from South America. And the poor people of Ireland then lived on the cheapest food, and they became stronger than the English, who were eating the expensive high-end food. The Irish were treated like garbage by the English, subjugated by them. Right now, England's subjugating their own citizens. No freedom of speech. A Muslim screams, "Kill the Queen," and he stays in the country. I can't enter England because of something I didn't even say many years ago. And here's a little surprise for all of you. I was interviewed yesterday by phone from London by a reporter for the, I think, London Telegraph, I'm not sure. And he was supposed to be interviewing me about the interview with Gavin Newsom and whether he'd run for president and all of that. But instead, he started to talk to me about my being banned in England. He spent half the interview talking about that. And he said, if Starmer took you off the list, would you be happy? I said, I would be happy or sad. I don't belong on the list. He said, no, you don't, Mr. Savage. He said, there were Russian skinheads on there who killed immigrants. You've got Hamas members who killed Jewish children on buses. And they put you on the same ban list for things that you allegedly said. And I said, I didn't even say those things. He said, well, didn't you say kill 100 million Muslims? I said, no. That's what the scumbags in the Labour Party said, I said. I'm not crazy. Here's what I said. I said, imagine a future time when Islamists take over countries in Europe and they get control of nuclear weapons, and then they want to kill 100 million of us here in America. I said, who would you rather die, 100 million of them or 100 million of us? I said, I'd rather see 100 million of them die. So then, Jackie Smith, I think under the influence of Hillary Clinton, but I can't be sure, said, Savage said kill 100 million Muslims. I am not crazy. I would never say a thing like that. A, I don't believe it. I'm a man of peace. B, I wouldn't say it even if I did believe it, which I don't. But that became the reason for keeping me out of England. Then there was the gay element that they try to use against me, because as you well know, the gays are very powerful in the media. And they said I was homophobic and this and that. I'll say what I said during the Gavin Newsom interview. It's well known. I am a sexual libertarian, for whatever you want to know about me. I don't care what people do to enjoy their lives, as long as they leave the children alone. I don't care if it's man, man, woman, woman. It's not my business, first of all. And that's number one. But number two, I'm a sexual libertarian, a phrase I developed many years ago in the radio world. And what I mean by that is do what you want to do. I'm like Rabelais, you know. Fais ce que voudras. Just, you cross that line and start screwing with the children's heads, what happens to you is just what happened to the Democrats. That is why they lost. I did the analysis. I don't need to read a book on it. You go into kindergarten, a 6'2" guy dressed up as a woman with lipstick on, and he confuses the children and tells them it's okay to do that. Then the mama bears get really mad at you. And it's the trans issue that destroyed the Democrats amongst everything else. And there are many other issues, don't get me wrong. But that was the biggest one to turn normally liberal women against the Democrats. Now, prior to that, I remember very clearly, for years Joe Biden was white supremacy, white male supremacy, Nazi, white supremacy, Nazi. For years he was vilifying white people. That didn't help him with the white working class man who was breaking his ass, working 3 jobs to support his family, and have a white man, a criminal, in the White House saying he was no good, that he was a supremacist for working so hard, while the immigrants were being flooded in by that bald-headed freak. How come Trump doesn't ever talk about him? Mayorkas. Mayorkas is like the 400-pound bear who destroyed this country. He's trying to clean up a mess created by the Biden. Where is Mayorkas in this discussion? The man who opened the floodgates, broke our borders, broke the balls of the border guard, and then flooded in 20 million of the worst people on the planet. Sure, they all come here to work, right? I'm an immigrant son. Yeah, they come here to work. Living in the Roosevelt Hotel at $400 a night. They came here to work the system, you moron, you. Trump has not deported enough of them yet. We all know that. That's a real deficit in the puzzle. But it's early on. I know Trump's strategy. I know what he's doing. I can figure it out. We're going to have a lot of financial pain for a year as we try to adjust the economy and the engine. And we're going to have a tough time. Gasoline prices haven't come down. Food prices haven't come down. Inflation is still here. You can't do it overnight. We're going to have upsets for a year, and then by the time of the midterms, I think things are going to be a lot better. And then at that point, we pray the Republicans increase their majority or hold on to it. We don't know. Now, I'm going to let this cook now. Or another potato. I'm going to go. It's done. I have a little bit of store-bought tarragon left. It has a little aroma, not much. I love tarragon with poultry. I need to cook that liquid down. I don't have to look at the recipe to tell you I need to do that, but I'll look at the recipe to say what it says. I can't read it, so I won't read it. I can't see it without my glasses. I don't know where they are. So, what time is it, folks? It's 5 o'clock. I used to travel on ships as a lecturer on these big ocean liners. I get free passage with the family when they were young. I traveled on beautiful ocean liners before they became floating like bordellos. They were passenger liners. The greatest was the P&O liner. It used to run from Australia back to England and take all the civil servants back. Long ride on these beautiful ships. They had little bulletins they put out on the ship, you know. And one of them said, "It's half after 5, you come alive." Yeah, that's what we used to do. We would drink pretty good at 5:30. So it's not 5:30, it's 5 o'clock, as you know. I'm going to commit a sacrilege because the wine is a day old. And although it's cold, I'll make all of you wine snobs sick. I don't care what you think, because I know what I like. Put in 1 ice cube. Well, that's a little ice cube, so I get another one. It takes that slight. Now lower the heat now, Mike. Now, it doesn't say cover the pan, but I'm going to partially cover it so that the aromatics go up against the cover, and then they go back down into the sauce. I'll cook it till it's really saucier. Well, that's all I have to say. It's half after 5 very soon. It's only 5 right now on the West Coast, so I'm going to drink a glass of wine before half after 5. Oh, I needed that today. I don't drink during the day. So I want to go back to the cardiac thing for 1 minute. Many of you have survived heart attacks, or if you're 30, you're fearing a heart attack. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do in the gym, how macho you think you are. Nature doesn't care if you're macho. Nature doesn't care if you have muscles. Your arterial system is the issue. And it's really not a heart attack, basically. It's not even heart disease. It's artery disease that people are getting sick and dying from. You heard it, hardening of the arteries, occlusions, whatever. It's a terrible thing when it happens, and you don't know what hit you. And if you survive it, you're going to have a big road to come back on. You can't play with it. You can't cheat nature. So, as you can see, I've modified my diet to a certain extent, but not totally. I mean, I'm cooking an animal product here with a lot of vegetables. There's almost no salt in here. And whatever salt I did use, because I don't want to raise my blood pressure, go read a book by a quack who doesn't know anything about science. I use a modified light salt with a lot of the sodium and potassium salts in there. And it's a very low saturated fat dinner. I know you read a book that saturated fats are good for you. You know what? Get back to me when you're 70. They're not good for you. They're one of the chief items that occlude arteries. So, Do what you want. Follow any dietary advice you'd like. I'm making my peasants dish here. I just want to stir it one more time. It's starting to look really good, folks. Look at that chicken. You can't see it. Look at this. See, the red bell pepper hasn't even started to cook, but it will. And by the time the red bell pepper becomes soft, this dish will be basically done. Again, I'm not going to cover it totally because I want some of the steam to go out, but I want most of the steam to go up against the glass and then drop the volatile components back into the stew. Okay, that's all I have to say. Hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends that you got your mycopene tonight. This is Chef Michael Savage saying thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. And with God's will and your listenership, tomorrow morning you'll watch me do my God talk, which I'll tell you what it's going to be right now. So I'm starting again now. The wine is so goddamn good. Thank God. Thank God that, let me see the angle. It looks pretty good. It's nice. It's on the food, right? Here we go. Better that way. But then you can't see mycopene. So, two things. I have my show ready for tomorrow morning. I was doing God Talks on Sunday. But I don't use the word God Talk anymore because a lot of people don't even like it. You say God, they won't listen to you. So I'm doing a show tomorrow called Laughter in the Face of Sorrow. We all know something about sorrow, don't we? Do we know how to laugh in the face of sorrow? Do we know why so many Jewish people became good comedians through the centuries, particularly in the old days? Today there are no good Jewish comedians. There are only vile Jewish comedians who are stupid. In the old days, and you're talking about really smart people, the one-liners, the Henny Youngmans, the Milton Berle, though at that age, Buddy Hackett people, they were great people. They were all really damaged people who were hurt, and they learned how to react to their pain through humor, okay? I know a little bit about that. So I'm going to be talking tomorrow about laughter in the face of sorrow. That's tomorrow morning, God willing. See, I say God willing. Big element of my life is the man upstairs. Never forget that. It's no joke. Screw him if you want, at your own risk. I choose to believe there is one God in heaven. It's not Santa Claus. There's a God. As the man said to me, as I gave the homeless guy a ride 25 years ago in San Francisco with those deep blue eyes on Grant Avenue, and I gave him a ride over to the highway with his sack. He was a clean bum, but not a disheveled homeless guy. And we got to talk. And when I dropped him off, I said to him, I think his name was Michael. I said, Michael, do you believe in God? And he looked me right in my eyes with his deep blue eyes, and he said, where did I come from? Who created me? That says it all. Where'd you come from? You made yourself? So if you want to believe you're no different than an amoeba, that's your right. You can believe that. I have deep faith in the one true God. And I will be talking about that tomorrow morning on YouTube X and FaceTime. And then at nighttime, it's my big show. I have a show every Sunday night on Newsmax TV. It's 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, and I watch the show that I produce all week long with a small team. That night I sit in my house, lights dim, and I watch the show as though I'm an observer because I watch a lot of television at night. And I like to watch it as an observer of television to see how my show looks. To be honest with you, it's not my best format. This kind of television is very hard for me. That kind, I mean, it's not a format that I'm used to. It's kind of rigid. I do a great show. I did a show last week on the Pope. My attorney, Dan Horowitz, said he watched it with trepidation. He said, oh my God, this is such a dangerous topic for Michael to be doing. He knows I'm a tightrope walker. He said, you covered this Pope Francis so perfectly, you didn't insult him? No. Why should I? I covered his politics, and I covered his lack of knowledge of science in the context of climate change. He knows nothing about it. I didn't ridicule him because I think the Catholic religion is a beautiful religion. Modern Catholicism is a beautiful religion. We're not living in the Inquisition. Stop at the 1500s, okay? And don't talk to me about molestation one more minute. So 2% of the Catholic priests are sickos. I don't care. The religion itself is fabulous, beautiful. It's a great soothing religion for hundreds of millions of people on this planet. So I did a good show last week. So what is tomorrow's Newsmax TV show, folks? You probably know what it is. It's outtakes from my Gavin Newsom interview where he interviewed me. Now, many of the small-minded people say that I shouldn't have been on the show. I'm only making him look like a centrist. You don't know what you're talking about. You could take that approach because you're just jealous and stupid. You'd love to be on the show, but he would never call you up to be on his podcast. Every leading conservative figure wants to be on Gavin Newsom's podcast. No matter what they may be saying, they're dying to be on his podcast, okay? So don't go for the horse shit. I was really amazed when they called me. They said, yes, I said, sure, I'll do it. I know Gavin somewhat. We don't meet for drinks. I don't know. But I've known him for many years in the North Beach, San Francisco world of San Francisco politics. And I go back to his father in the North Beach restaurant in the interview. You should watch his podcast because it was a very gentlemanly debate. Except there are a few points that it was very fast tennis. I'll tell you that right now. But you have to have a quick mind to watch where the ball starts to go fast. If you go in with a preconceived notion of that, he's this and he's that, you won't even catch what's going on. It's an incredible podcast. I would say he had Charlie Kirk on, who's a 31-year-old great conservative. Then he had me on, then he had Steve Bannon. Now you want to accuse all of us now of being sold out? No, you're just jealous. I happen to know that everyone in the business is clamoring to get on his show, incidentally, as you'll soon see. It's a very good interview. So I have outtakes on my Newsmax TV show tomorrow night. And the good people, we got some good stuff. I forget which segments we pulled. I'm going to watch it with you live. As I always say, God willing, because it has to be God willing. Because we don't know if there's going to be a tomorrow for us, do we? You actually know you're going to be here tomorrow? Do you have the utter confidence that you will wake up tomorrow and be here tomorrow? Do you? Or do you pray at night to God and say, God, whatever? When you think it's too childish, you're a pragmatist, you're an atheist. I respect that too. I happen to respect atheism in those who believe in that. I don't believe in it. I've seen evidence in my own life of the presence of God. Or as the great Frankie Lane sang, that song, I Believe, and I can't sing, but I would sing right now if I could. Where he sings, every time you see a newborn baby, I believe. What a song, wow. You know, the 50s were filled with such great artists, and they were all family-oriented and God-loving people. Everything they did was for the family. So we had a great nation in the 50s. Then the degenerates came along and destroyed the country. And look what we have now. Take a look at what's going on. The cities of, I don't have to go down the list. I see a revival coming under Trump. He's a single-handed revivalist. I don't know how he can do this day in and day out. I don't know how he does it. I don't know where he gets the strength from for it. It's you know, it's divine. His strength is divine. And he's got a big job ahead of him with all of the undermining that goes on. So you can visit me online at michaelsavage.com. People say, how do I reach you? The reporter from the Telegraph said, what's the #1 place for people to contact you? I said, michaelsavage.com. It leads to all my podcasts. I put up a video today that a friend of mine sent from 2018. I was in the Alioto's restaurant. Oh my God, that place is closed down. During COVID, everything went. I couldn't believe it. Most of my friends in that video are dead. It's awful. I mean, I had a friend who said to me, his father said to him, one of the problems of getting older and living long is that all your friends die before you. Well, better them than me. Okay, let's put it to you that way. Put it to you that way. When I look at that video, I mean, there are some beautiful friends in there. They're gone. There's Richard Cunningham, the great doctor, gone. Maurice Kanbar loved him like a brother, gone. Richie Aliotto, the heavyset guy from the restaurant, poor guy died during COVID, heart attack, young guy, heavyset, great guy, loved him. I would go in there sometimes and rap with him. He made me happy to just be with this man. He had such a presence, gone. But the video lives. It's on where is it now? It's on X. We put it up on X with a little music. Then we have another music video that my friend Jack Sarfati, the ET guy, sent to me. And he said it was produced by AI. It was set up in the Basque restaurant I go to all the time with my birthday last year. That was a nice party where I'm singing with Giovanni. Volari at the end is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Reach out and grasp life. It's all we got. Celebrate life because God likes that. God wants us to be happy. God wants us to reach out and be happy with others and spread cheer. Do you understand that? Don't be mean. Don't be angry. You can disagree with people. You don't have to hate them. Too much hate. Sorry. Now, would my mother approve of this dish in heaven? Ma, what do you think? Tell you what she would say. What are you cooking? What's that dreck in the pot with the potato in there? Why is the potato so hard? Are your vegetables cooked? No. See, they're not cooked. Look. That's going to be my bellwether. Is my bell pepper. Is my bellwether. They got to be really soft. Then I know it's cooked. I got enough food here for 6 days. I'll eat one dish tonight. You know what I would really like with this? I have potatoes. That's my starch. I would love rice with it, but I don't want to bother. Look at the pots already I have to clean up. Ugh, what a mess. So, anyway, I'm glad you could be with me. I like to rap to my audience. I really do. Oh, my God, the wine is so good. It's the second glass already. So, post-cardiac, 2 glasses max. Okay. I got this sensation from my cardiologist, who hasn't died yet, thank God. He retired but didn't die. So as Mark Twain said, he gets all his exercise. Remember that famous Mark Twain line? He said, I get all my exercise walking to the funerals of my more athletic friends. Oh, you talk about genius. Wow, what a line. I wish I could approach that intelligence. Samuel Clemens, I get all my exercise walking to the funerals of my more athletic friends. I love that line, right? Nice. Nice. Okay, folks, I'm going to have a little more wine, and you know what's going to happen. Because it's almost half after 5, and I have come alive. It's still good. I generally drink a half a bottle, pump the bottle, keep it in the refrigerator. It's, of course, never as good the next day. Never, because it oxidizes. The good wines actually last a little longer than the cheap wines. And then I put 1 ice cube in to take off that slide-off flavor. And the alcohol does the trick. I don't know. I think a little alcohol is very, very healthy for me. Very healthy for me. It stabilizes my emotions, relaxes me. What's wrong with it? Nothing. There's a lot of literature on it, one way or the other. Now, you know what you're going to see a lot lately? Alcohol is bad for you in any amount. Use marijuana. All right. All the pot pushers. Okay. Well, I think that's it. We've covered the waterfront. Until tomorrow morning, with God's will and your listenership, when I do my God talk, which is, let me get the script. Hold on. I'm going to read it to you. I'll give you in advance. I know you want me to stay here. I want to stay. I don't want to go. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on there. I got it all written up. I'm going to give you a preview. I'll give you a preview and a little surprise. Here's a preview and a little surprise. We're coming back now. You're going to be shocked by what you see. Here I come. Look at this. Look what I have for you. Look at this. Would you believe this? I should get closer to the mic. See that picture? Forget about that. That's my ghost. That's me. 1984. One of the rarest plants on earth. Degenaria vithiensis with a purple fruit. It's a monotypic genus, a monotypic species found nowhere else on earth but in this island of Fiji level. I collected the plant, pressed it, sent it to 7 herbaria around the world. When I was collecting medicinal plants, I got to keep it away from the heat, sorry. Degenaria vithiensis, named for Otto Degener. See the purple fruit? No bad jokes, please. And that's yours truly. Portrait of the collector as a young man. Portrait of the collector as a young man. That was me. I remember it. I remember the day I was there. I was always a great-looking guy. Always. You know what I find funny? A lot of people I know in the movie business, and some pretty big people, they say to me, Michael, you could have been a great actor. I said, really? Why do you assume that's what I wanted to do? You're good looking, you got a great voice, you got a great persona. You could have been a great actor. What if I didn't want to be an actor? I'll tell you when I decided I didn't want to be an actor. You want to hear that or not? It's like I went off the stage already 12 times. Oh yeah, this is starting to cook. Now you're talking. Look at this. You hear when you turn it, it's a little too liquidy right now. It could use rice added to it right now. A little cooked rice in there. Oh, would that be good? I have the potatoes for the starch, but the sauce should be great. I don't want to burn myself into it. I was in high school, Jamaica High School, Queens, New York. And sophomore year, I had advanced twice for my age and for my birthday. I entered the high school very young. I graduated high school at 16. So I was a small kid, and I was in a play on the stage, Jamaica High School. So I played the child in the play. The other kids played the parents. And they gave me a cup of tea to drink where there was no tea in it. And I had to pretend I was drinking tea, I'll never forget, make believe you're drinking the tea. I said, I don't want this phony shit. I'm not going to do this. I hated acting. And that explains why actors are so disconnected from reality. Because all their life, they have had to pretend to be something they are not. And some of them are so talented and also so intelligent, they've kept their wits about them. But most have not. I didn't want it. I knew that was not my calling. And here I am at this point in my life, whatever that may be. I've done okay. Beautiful family. I've worked my ass off since I'm 5. I'm not complaining. What should I do? Complain about life? I'm not going to do it. I thank God for every breath I take. And of the making of many videos, there is no end. So said Michael Ecclesiastes, an ancient relative of mine. So remember, tomorrow morning, YouTube, X, Facebook, God Talk. I promised you something I didn't deliver. It's the first rule, deliver. The script is laughter in the face of sorrow. Here's my script for tomorrow. You think it's all made up, don't you? All of it. That's what you think? That's tomorrow morning on YouTube, X, and Facebook. And in the evening, you got Newsmax TV to look forward to if you want your Mike opinion. And right now, I do have to say goodbye. It is almost half after 5, and I do have to become alive, and I have to eat. And that's it. And thank you for listening. Hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends how great I am. And above all, pray for peace. Pray that the killing stops between Ukraine and Russia. Trump is 100% a peacemaker. Let's pray for peace. Thank you for watching. Okay, here comes the hard part. trying to stop it. I'm having trouble. Honest to God. It doesn't give me the stop button. There we go. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to say goodbye again for the 90th time. I'm like a stage actress. I won't go off the stage. Bye. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I still love life. You can love life right to the last drop if you still love life.